Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the current affairs classes. I hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to cover 3rd January CA and at the end the top 5 MCQs from the discussion itself, right? So I hope the audio and video is all good. Can anyone please confirm? Audio, video all good? All right, so let's begin with the class. The first section, ESI Finance Business News category. First news which we have, it says Reliance Industries has raised, $3 billion of loan from a consortium of 11 banks. Why this is important? Because this is largest borrowing deal in nearly 2 years. In the last 2 years, from 11 group of banks, Reliance Industries has borrowed this amount. How much? $11 billion, right? Sorry, $3 billion. $3 billion from 11 banks. $3 billion from 11 banks, group of 11 banks. Now, this is largest borrowing deal in the 2 years. That's why it can be significant. What are the loan pricing and the terms associated with the loan? Let's see. Some important static portion would also be covered here. So listen carefully. What is SOFR and all, right? First thing, that the 3-month SOFR rate stood at approximately 4.8% in mid-December. With additional 120 basis points, the dollar-denominated loan is priced at 6%. Around 6% is the interest, right? The dollar denominated, since the banks which have provided this loan to the Reliance Industries, certain banks are from America, so some portion of the loan is dollar denominated. This is the catch, okay? Some portion of the loan is dollar denominated because it has been provided by an American bank, and some portion of the loan is yen denominated. Yen is the currency of Japan, you all know that, right? Because some of the loan has been provided by a bank from Japan. So these are dollar denominated and yen denominated loan. Now what is this SOFR, on the basis of which this rate has been calculated? How much interest would be paid? SOFR. See, I have discussed this thing with you a lot number of times, but let's discuss this again if you don't know what is SOFR. So for understanding SOFR, you first need to understand the interbank operations. What are interbank operations, right? Or what is interbank rate? So there is something called interbank rate or interbank market, okay? Market. What is interbank market? We as customer, we borrow from the banks, right? From the commercial banks. Banks, they borrow from the RBI, the central bank. But the commercial banks, all these institutes, they also borrow in between from each other. Are you getting my point? Interbank overnight loan they provide. For example, so we borrow from the bank. Bank can also borrow overnight basis from another bank or another financial institute. This is the interbank operation, right? So for example, this bank SBI borrows, say, from ICICI, or ICICI borrows from SBI for overnight basis. That means for 24 hours. Okay, overnight basis. So this is interbank between two banks. Now what happens is, every country has set certain benchmark interest rates to decide what would be the interest charged, for such interbank transactions or overnight borrowing and lending among the banks, right? Certain benchmark rates are decided at the national level and at the international level. Are you getting my point? So at the national level and international level, these are the benchmark rates. SOFR, which is mentioned over here, SOFR, secured overnight rate, SOFR is basically the international benchmark, right? International benchmark. So according to it, the other rates are taken reference from. Are you getting my point? And one very important thing is, SOFR was not earlier in place. It is quite a recent development. Earlier there was LIBOR. What is known as LIBOR? LIBOR, okay? Earlier there was LIBOR. LIBOR is London-based interbank offered rate. Interbank offered rate means at what rate, at what interest rate you are offering loan to some other bank, right? London-based. So LIBOR, London-based interbank offered rate, used to be the benchmark from which we used to take reference from as sovereign nations, right? But now there were certain transparency issues which were raised, due to which LIBOR has been eliminated and now it has been replaced by SOFR. So presently SOFR is the rate. Who decides it? So it is decided based on the overnight borrowing in dollars in US, right? So it is backed by the US based securities. So such overnight borrowing backed by US based securities, like we have our government securities, they have their own T-bills, right? Treasury bills. So such overnight interbank transactions which they have in their country, based on that, which are secured by government securities, SOFR is decided. And from this international benchmark, other countries, they can take reference from it. So India presently takes reference from SOFR, and what national benchmark do we have is FBIL overnight. This is international. What does India have? India has FBIL overnight MIBOR. Remember, India has FBIL overnight MIBOR, which is overnight Mumbai interbank outright rate. Okay, Mumbai interbank outright rate. Now, what is outright rate? This is nothing but just that benchmark. Okay, you need not go into much detail into it because it will take a long time. It is a financial concept. This is important. You will read it in the finance PDF which I provided to you. But just for as of now, understand, this is the benchmark which we set, the FBIL sets, right? Financial Benchmarks of India Limited. FBIL stands for Financial Benchmarks India Limited. So FBIL decides that this MIBOR, Mumbai-based interbank outright rate, this would be the rate at which interbank borrowing and lending would happen. This is MIBOR. I hope this entire thing is clear to all of you, right? In a very precise manner. So based on this, that loan has been decided, the SOFR ke basis pe. And these rates, they can take reference from SOFR. And on the basis of this, the interbank rates are decided. Like MIBOR is the benchmark one. Okay. I hope it is clear, everyone. Okay. So this is the thing, and 6% इसका ये है. Yen denominated portion जो है loan का, it is 75 basis point above the Tokyo interbank offered rate. As I told you, it is Mumbai outright rate for India, right? So Japan के लिए it is Tokyo outright rate, which is the benchmark interest rate, serving as an indicator of how much interest you would charge for interbank transactions, right? So you need not remember all these interest rates. You just remember the mechanism. This is important. These are important terminologies. Okay. So this was the thing for the loan taken by Reliance Industries, and which are the key banks in this 11 bank consortium. First bank is Bank of America. Second is India's State Bank of India. So SBI has also lent. Then other important banks are DBS, HSBC, Japan's Bank, etc., right? These are the banks. And Reliance Industries, it holds BBB plus credit rating, which is quite stable credit rating. Okay, it shows that industry is quite stable. It will be able to repay. This was the entire thing. Lot of important concepts we have discussed. I hope you have understood. Please revise them. Next thing is annual survey of unincorporated sector fact sheet has been released. We have discussed this thing earlier as well. Unincorporated sector, which is not there in the formal records, right? So presently India has a lot of economy where the transactions, the registration of the office, the registration of the employees is not there. They are not on record, right? So annual survey of unincorporated sector has been out. What does it tells you? First thing about manufacturing sector. So focus sectors have been manufacturing and other services and trade. Manufacturing sector, what has been the performance? Services sector and trade sector. Okay. About manufacturing sector, if you see the performance for 23-24 year, the overall status is decline in GVA. Decline in GVA. So what is this GVA? Gross value added. Again, very important concept in your ESI segment for RBI grade B, right? Gross value added. This is a concept in national income. GVA and GDP में एक difference है. GDP आप सबने सुना होगा, right? Gross domestic product. Whatever is produced in the economy within the territory, the market price of all such final goods and services, final, which are ready to use. not the intermediate ones, right? So that is GDP. But then we have evolved into a concept called GVA as well. We are using GVA. So GVA is basically the idea that we are trying to assess how much each sector has contributed. GDP tells you what ki puri economy mein what has been produced. GVA tells you value addition. What is value addition? Suppose, for example, if I have bought wheat flour, okay, from a flour mill, wheat flour from a flour mill. Now I want to convert it into some biscuits. This is value addition. I have added value to that flour and converted it into biscuit. So biscuit would be priced higher. This is value addition. So value addition is nothing but production process. Value addition is nothing but production process. So when we are saying GVA, GVA would be how much in the production agriculture sector has added, manufacturing sector has added, services sector has added, right? So sectoral contribution has been reflected in GVA. I hope it is clear, everyone. So GVA tells you how much you have added, not the final value of the product. For example, wheat flour वाला example दोबारा लेते हैं. If I have purchased that wheat flour for say 200 rupees, and then when biscuit comes out in the market, which I have converted the flour into biscuit for say 500 rupees, just for an example. So 500 would be GDP, but actually 200 is counted under it because that was my raw material, right? But did I add 500 worth of value to it? Yes or no? Anyone? No. 200 out of that 500 was only raw material. What I have added was 300. So GVA gives you actual value addition, right? GVA tells you how much you have added. Now this is important because we need to know the sectoral contribution, how manufacturing sector is adding, how into GDP, how much services sector is adding. So that's why this concept is important. Now I hope you are well versed with GVA. You can also write down the formula of GVA. Formula is value of output minus intermediate consumption. Value of output minus intermediate consumption. Value of output, जैसे बिस्किट हमने बनाया 500 रुपीज, राइट? उसका वैल्यू था, लेकिन इंटरमीडिएट कंजम्पशन क्या था, विच वॉज रॉ मटीरियल. इंटरमीडिएट मतलब जो आपने बीच में यूज किया है किसी चीज को बनाने के लिए, राइट? सो रॉ मटीरियल वॉज 200. हमारा बिस्किट का प्राइस क्या था? 500. रॉ मटीरियल वॉज 200. सो एक्चुअली हाउ मच आई हैव एडेड? ओनली 300. डिड यू गेट दिस पॉइंट? This is how you can calculate. Now, since the concept is clear, so let's discuss the report. Okay. So GVA for manufacturing sector has declined. This is not a good indicator. Overall, that shows that manufacturing sector has added less to the overall growth of the economy, right? So GVA per establishment means per factory, per industry which is there has also declined. And GVA per worker, how much each worker has contributed, it has also declined. Clear? So overall, remember, manufacturing sector ka GVA has declined. Then next is, so it shows what? Reduced productivity, less productivity. This is not a good indicator because if we want to grow, we need to provide opportunities and we need to increase our efficiency and productivity, particularly in the manufacturing sector. Services sector mein we are performing well. But manufacturing is something in which we are still behind our existing potential. Understood, right? So remember this thing. Next is, if we talk about services and trade, so status of GVA per establishment and per worker in services and trade has increased. Services and trade mein gross value added has increased, so good indicator, right? Services ka if you see, so services में GVA per establishment has increased and per worker has also increased. Trade में भी GVA per establishment grew 40.5%. Trade में you see, trade is performing really well, 40.5%. And per worker also increased. So absolute terms में अगर हम देखें, total manufacturing GVA has declined, okay? But trade and services GVA has been higher. That shows what? The conclusion is trade, export and import, and services sector are contributing more to Indian economy's growth as compared to the manufacturing sector, This is the thing. I hope the entire thing is clear, everyone, and GVA concept is clear. Then next is, according to ICRA rating, ICRA, which is a SEBI registered credit rating agency, ICRA says that securitization volumes, they topped rupees 68,000 crore in October-December financial year 2025. Now, you can remember this because this is October to December data. Remember, ICRA says that 68,000 crore has been the securitization volume in the Indian banking system or financial system. So what is this securitization? You need to understand this, then only you will be able to understand the news. Okay, so let's see what is securitization. Just a second. Okay. See, securitization is a process via which the originator, which can be any financial institute, converts loans which are not tradable, right? Loan is not tradable, agree or not? They convert such loans into tradable securities. This is securitization. Usko security mein convert karna, right? So securitization, suppose this is the loan amount, okay, with a bank. Now that bank basically wants to convert it, clear off the balance sheet. Suppose NPA hai, right? Clear off karna hai balance sheet. NPA hai and you want to recover it. Kaise recover karoge? So you want to convert into tradable securities. So there will be an originator. Who will be originator? Originator would be that institute which can be a bank. Bank bhi originator ho sakta hai, financial institute bhi originator ho sakta hai, which will be converting it or making it in a pool of tradable securities, right? So originator has pooled all these loans together. Originator can be a bank, etc. Originator ने क्या किया, जितने भी अलग अलग लोन्स थे, सपोज एनपीए थे, राइट, उनको एक जगह पूल कर दिया. Now it would be given to SPV, a special purpose vehicle. किसी ऐसे एंटिटी को दिया जाएगा which would be converting it into tradable securities like, so it can be converted into say stocks, right, etc. other securities. So this entity, पूल करना मतलब इकट्ठा करना, राइट, कंबाइन कर दिया उसको, एंड उसने किसी स्पेशल पर्पस व्हीकल, स्पेशल एंटिटी को दिया जो उसको सिक्योरिटीज में कन्वर्ट करेगा लाइक स्टॉक्स एटसेट्रा विच कैन बी ट्रेडेड, राइट. So this has converted the loan amount, loan, into securities. Now what will happen? This much is clear? Yes or no? Quickly tell me. So after these are converted say into stocks, so investors will be investing into it, right? Yes, like ARC, it can be any institute, not specifically ARC, right? ARCs can also be there. So they convert it into securities. अब investment आएगा तो investors will buy this or invest into it. Investors will get return, you will get money. तो इसके दो तीन benefits हैं. First, bank has cleared out their balance sheet. NPA clear हो गया, right? Investors को opportunity मिल गई to earn good returns. Lot of benefits are there. And bank has raised money via this because investment has come. Earlier the loan was underlying, but then now it has converted into investment. This is what we call as securitization. I hope the process is clear, right? So this was the thing. Now this is the news. ICRA says कि 68,000 crore rupees तक के amount को securitize किया गया है, इस process से raise किया गया है या securities में convert किया गया है इतने amount को, right? 68,000 crores. Securitization क्या होता है? I have already explained you, right? And there is something called PTC. PTC, pass through certificate. Pass through certificate. What is it? I told you कि investors would be investing, and when investors invest, they will be getting the return. So investor will be getting this return against PTC. Remember the full form, PTC, pass through certificate, right? So that special purpose vehicle will be providing this pass through certificate to investor. Why pass through? That would mean that the return earned on such investment would be passed on to the investor according to their share invested. आपने 1% का इन्वेस्टमेंट किया, उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपको आपका रिटर्न पास कर दिया जाएगा. This is PTC, pass through certificate, nothing else, right? So I hope now it is clear. And out of this 68,000 crore rupees which has been securitized, ICRA only says 25,000 crore is coming from private banks. 25,000 crore has been securitized by private banks, and remaining 43,000 has been securitized by NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. Now can you tell me why NBFCs have securitized more of it? Anyone? Since you have understood the process, because you see recently NBFCs जो है RBI के radar पर हैं. Why? Lot of retail loan segment में NPAs are there. Yes or no? I have been discussing all these trends with you constantly. So you must be remembering NBFCs are under higher scrutiny from RBI because of higher level of defaults on retail loan segment. So this can be used by NBFCs to securitize the loan. That's why you see share of NBFCs is higher than the banks. Understood or not? Yes? Very good, right? So, see, this is how you need to understand the entire picture, what is happening in the economy. Only merely, going through the facts would not be sufficient. Now you know what is actually happening, right? Out of this, remember one more important fact, that HDFC Bank का जो HDFC Bank in this securitization, it is 12,000 crore. HDFC Bank ने भी 12,000 crore securitize किया है. See, Satyen, I just gave you an example that it can be the situation. It is not necessarily always NPA. Are you getting my point? The loan would be recovered by the bank itself. Investor does not have liability to recover the loan. And it is not necessarily NPA. It can be good performing loan as well, right? So those can also be converted into various securities, जिनको भी trade किया जा सकता है या जिसमें investment किया जा सकता है. It is not necessarily NPA. I specifically mentioned this. Is it clear now, Satyen? Tell me yes or no. And then investor is just looking for profit. It is not the liability of the investor to recover the loan. It would be recovered by the bank itself. Whatever has to be there. Investor is just looking for the profit margin. Understood? Okay, so remember, I didn't say that it is always NPA. I just explained you a situation that this can be one of the reasons, right? So now HDFC Bank ka 12,000 crore, it has been there. It will be there. We have CA classes regularly, okay? It is not any exam specific. We are covering CA daily for all the examination throughout the year. 9:30 a.m., right? Then next what we have is a revamped e-auction portal, BankNet, was launched by Department of Financial Services. So Department of Financial Services has introduced a new auction portal, digital portal for e-auction. The name is BankNet. Remember, this is very important, BankNet. Okay. What is the purpose? To aid recovery process of public sector banks, where entire information on e-auction properties from all PSBs. So it is particularly catering to the public sector banks as of now, right? PSBs, public sector banks. अभी के लिए private entities का कोई feature इसमें mention नहीं है. It is only catering to PSBs. What is it? This is a platform where any auction के लिए जो भी properties होंगी. Now PSBs का you see what? Public sector banks जो हैं, they can sell and they can buy the properties on this platform. So all this information would be available for auction of any property. This is the BankNet platform, e-auction के लिए, right? Understood? Now this can help the PSBs to clear off their NPA. Now this is specifically where I'm mentioning that might be more of use for NPA. If you have NPA and you want to recover it, you might sell out some property to recover some loan, not recovering the NPA, right? To recover some amount from a property, to sell it off. और सपोज पीएसबी से किसी ने लोन लिया था, उसके अगेंस्ट में कोई प्रॉपर्टी मॉर्टगेज की थी, कोलेट्रल रखा था. सपोज आई हैव टेकन लोन फ्रॉम अ बैंक, फ्रॉम अ पीएसबी, अगेंस्ट विच मैंने लैंड गिरवी रखी अपनी, राइट, एंड आई हैव डिफॉल्टेड ऑन माई लोन. नाउ दैट कैन बी ऑक्शनड, for which government has provided you an easy platform as well. It will help the banks, yes or no? And apart from the NPA, other properties can also be sold out. This is the e-auction platform, BankNet. This is the e-auction platform. Understood, right? All the properties like residential properties, flats, independent houses, open plots, they will be registered here. All such properties, they will be registered here. So this is your BankNet platform. No, this is not how it happens, Kuldeep. Bank can also stop giving loans to, no. You have to give loans, and you can directly securitize all the money to investors. No, you cannot directly securitize it. This is how the mechanism has to be. Okay. Exactly. बैंक का core function ही lending and deposit taking है. And you cannot go into securitization directly. This is not your core function as a bank. Okay. I hope you have understood BankNet. Then moving on to regulatory bodies news. So regulatory body mein we have, according to IRDAI, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI says that the life insurance sector in India, life insurance sector has reported unclaimed amounts totaling rupees 20,062 crores as of March 2024. Life insurance sector has witnessed this much of unclaimed amounts. Okay. Unclaimed amounts. What are the unclaimed? Say there was a claim which has not been claimed by the insurer, by the insured. I have suppose purchased a life insurance policy, but I did not claim the amount when I need it. Reasons might be lack of awareness, illiteracy, lack of financial know-how. तो कोई भी claim जो मिलना था to the beneficiary has not been claimed or settled is the unclaimed amount. This much is the unclaimed amount in the life insurance. Okay, remember this thing. And how much the life insurance industry has in total paid out as benefits to the people is 5.77 lakh crores. And as I told you, what are unclaimed amounts? Unclaimed amounts are the funds from life insurance policies that beneficiaries have not claimed as of now, right? So not all of the data is relevant here. Just remember the main one which we have discussed. What is the amount as of now? Then talking about the banking news, and before moving to the banking news, I would like to ask you, please let me know. Lot of technicalities we have discussed as of now, right? So all of this is clear. I hope it is clear. So let's move ahead now. All the concepts should be clear. So RBI has approved HDFC Bank to pick up an aggregate stake. Aggregate stake मतलब share capital, voting right सब मिला के aggregate stake up to 9.5% in Kotak Mahindra Bank. शेयर कैपिटल कितना आपको शेयर मिलेगा, कितनी ओनरशिप मिलेगी कंपनी में, एंड वोटिंग राइट. द voting right gives you right to be part of important decisions and vote in important corporate decisions, right? In सबको मिला के RBI has said, okay, we are approving that HDFC Bank can get 9.5% stake in Kotak Mahindra, but it should not exceed 9.5%. Remember this. It should not exceed 9.5%. Right? Next one. RBI has removed a supervisory restriction on Arohan Financial Services Limited. Arohan Financial Services Limited पे earlier RBI has imposed certain restrictions, but now they have been lifted. Okay, due to some compliance issues and all, this was imposed. And this Arohan Financial Services provides financial services and solutions, is based in Kolkata. This much only is relevant here. Next news. SBI, State Bank of India, has launched 2 new deposit schemes for the customers. Okay, so 2 new deposit schemes have been launched by SBI. First is Har Ghar Lakhpati and second is SBI Patrons. Remember them. Har Ghar Lakhpati and second is SBI Patrons. Let's see the features. First is Har Ghar Lakhpati is what? It is pre-calculated recurring deposit scheme. What is pre-calculated and recurring deposit? RD. रिकरिंग डिपॉजिट क्या होता है? सी फिक्स डिपॉजिट में आपने एक बार अमाउंट जमा करा दिया, राइट? आरडी रिकरिंग डिपॉजिट में यू सेव द अमाउंट फ्रीक्वेंटली, रिकरेंटली, बार बार इन अ इंटरवल ऑफ टाइम, सपोज मंथली, एनुअली, वॉट एवर द फीचर इज, राइट? Is recurring deposit. Now what is pre-calculated? Pre-calculated is in recurring deposit, how would you know at the end how much would be the actual return which you will be getting? But in this Har Ghar Lakhpati Har Ghar Lakhpati scheme or deposit scheme of SBI, you will be notified, you will be informed that if you spend in this deposit scheme, if you keep your money under this much including the interest will be earned by you. So it will be pre-calculated. These will be your returns. This is important feature, right? Unlike the other deposit schemes where you don't know how much you are going to get. Have you understood everyone? इसमें बता देंगे कि इतना आपका इंटरेस्ट होगा, इतना आपको मिलेगा, इतना पैसा रखने के बाद. This is clear? Then it is designed to help customers to accumulate rupees 1 lakh or multiples thereof. 1 lakh and उसके multiples में you can deposit the money. Okay, so it will basically simplify the process for the customers. Process, how it would be simplified? Customers will be knowing कि इतना return मिलेगा, so they can make an informed decision, an informed choice, isn't it? Next one is SBI Patrons. What is SBI Patrons? SBI Patrons के beneficiary are senior citizens. This is specifically designed for the senior citizens. Okay, where it is kind of a fixed deposit. So this is not recurring deposit. SBI Patrons. For all the SBI PO aspirants, this can be very important news, remember. So as I told you, हर घर लखपति का important feature is pre-calculated RD है, ये fixed deposit नहीं है. It is pre-calculated recurring deposit and 1 lakh and उसके multiples में you can deposit. This is clear, right? Second is SBI Patron. This is fixed deposit. SBI Patron is fixed deposit. It is specifically for senior citizens. Okay, senior citizens of 80 years and above specifically. So catering to very senior citizens, 80 years and above. Remember specifically 80 years and above. Okay, these are the important features. And one more important scheme which SBI has, you should be remembering if you are aspirant SBI PO, JA, right? SBI JA if you are appearing. So SBI Amrit Kalash is also one of the deposit schemes. SBI Amrit Kalash, again it is FD, fixed deposit scheme with 400 days offer. Okay, and it offers interest rate of 7.6% to senior citizens again. So SBI Amrit Kalash is also catering to senior citizens. 400 days का ये scheme है, 400 days remember, and 7.6% interest it offers. Both of them are for senior citizens. This was the news. Then next is SBI has launched tab-based end-to-end digital onboarding process for non-resident Indians. Okay, to open non-resident external and ordinary account, NRE and NRO account. Now what happens is, like we are residing in India only, so we can easily open up our accounts to manage our funds. right? For the NRIs, those who are not residing in India, residing outside, they cannot open the normal accounts like we have. They need to open specific accounts which are known as NRE or NRO, non-resident external account, non-resident ordinary account, in which they can deposit their money and can earn interest as well, right? So there are different kind of accounts in this. NRO, NRE, if you see, you can place the deposit in rupees, you earn interest which is not taxable. This is also very good benefit. In these account NRE, you see, if you deposit your money, you earn interest which is not even taxable in India. Got this? Then you have foreign currency non-resident account, जिसमें आप foreign currency में अपना deposit रख सकते हैं. If you are an NRI, foreign currency में भी रख सकते हैं. NRE में आप rupee में रख सकते हैं, right? So these are the opportunities. Now what is the news is? News is that such NRIs, earlier there was a long process, lot of documentation was required to open up such accounts. So it was a tedious task, right? Now new tab-based end-to-end digital onboarding process has been introduced, in which it will remove the need for physical documentation. Now no physical documentation would be required. सब कुछ online हो जाएगा. Documents would be verified online. So for NRI, it would be very quick and fast and easy to open up such accounts. No physical documentation and verification required. And this service is available at all SBI branches in India. Remember, this can also be very important. All SBI branches in India and select international locations as well. इंडिया में सारी SBI branches पे और international locations में कुछ branches पे it would be available. This is the service. I hope it is clear. Then moving on to national and state news. In national news, we have draft digital personal data protection rules 2025. So union government has released the draft digital personal data protection rules 2025. Data protection, data privacy. You know what is the main issue? Data कोई भी company आपसे ले लेती है and then it is misused. It is spread, right? Even after you give the consent, it might not be safe. So to ensure data privacy, to ensure that your data is safe, these rules are out. So certain regulations are there which you need to remember. Let's see what are the features. According to it, it provides a legal framework for data fiduciaries. Data fiduciaries are those who collect these data from you. Who are data fiduciaries? Suppose if I am collecting some data from you, so I will be data fiduciary. Okay? Data fiduciaries to protect the data against misuse and penalize the firm who violate this, as I told you. Protect the misuse of such data. Now, first thing, according to this draft, registration of so-called consent managers will be required. You see, when you visit a website, sometimes you need to give consent that we will be using cookies and we will be gathering some information, right? So we give consent. These consent managers, they have to be registered. This is the first thing. They have to be registered. Okay, if you are taking consent. Then government and its instrumentalities, they, can be away from this rule. That means without any consent, governments and its instrumentalities. So basically government और उसके department, जो भी entity government के लिए काम कर रही है, government and the associated entities of the government for specific purposes, you can collect data because certain data is important for the government, right? Even without the consent. So this cannot be so harshly implemented on the government entities, but private ones के लिए it will be mandatory. कि consent manager registered होना चाहिए, right? Then next, data particularly collected like for statistical purpose is also exempt from such regulation. Government collects a lot of data for a lot of purpose. कुछ statistical purpose के लिए भी government collect करती है, like for statistical computation, for a lot of surveys, etc. That would be exempt from this draft regulation. Okay. Next, in case of data breach, in case any data breach is there, if you have breached any data privacy norm within 72 hours, remember this, within 72 hours, the Data Protection Board of India, okay, has to be informed. Now, this Data Protection Board of India is yet to be established. अभी establish हुआ नहीं है, it would be established, right? Within 72 hours, you will have to inform such breach to Data Protection Board of India, which is yet to be established. Children, they will be required to be verified for parental consent to access social media. This is very important, right? Children should not get unnecessary and unethical content from social media. So they will need verification from their parents. Also, any user below the age of 18 has been defined as children under this. So children कौन है? 18 से कम age के लोग. And then there is also a mandate that online platforms, they must delete the personal data of inactive users on their platforms after 3 years. This is again important. Any online platform which has accessed data of its customer, if that customer is inactive on that particular platform for more than 3 years, then it is mandatory for such online platform to delete all such data collected from that customer. Now, all these things, they will ensure that data privacy is there, right? Let's see next one. So, Union Home Minister has inaugurated working women's hostel Sushma Bhavan in Lakshmi Bai Nagar, New Delhi. This hostel has been inaugurated, Sushma Bhavan, for working women. Those women who are working in a job, right? So, they can live there. It is a hostel which has been inaugurated. Nothing else is relevant here. Then next we have is Union Minister for Education has inaugurated Samarpan Samaroh at University of Delhi. Samarpan Samaroh has been inaugurated at DU, where they have, discussed on the importance of education, innovation, how innovation can revolutionize education, role of universities in overall development. This was there, in which they have launched 2 initiatives, Sashakt Beti and E-Drishti. 2 projects have been launched, Sashakt Beti and E-Drishti. Sashakt Beti kya hai? Where they are providing laptops to female students who are either orphans or belonging to a family where annual income is less than rupees 4 lakh. Okay. Sashakt Beti scheme mein they are providing laptops to females either orphans or belonging to family with an annual income of less than rupees 4 lakh. E-Drishti project mein they are trying to enhance learning opportunities for visually impaired students and again providing them with the tablets, etc. Okay. And they have also launched University of Delhi Ambulance for providing emergency medical service to students and all other people associated with the university. This was the thing. Then next is Ministry of Textiles has issued Quality Control Order for Medical Textiles. Medical Textiles Quality Control Order 2024. Medical Textiles के लिए Ministry of Textiles ने एक order issue किया है, Quality Control Order. What are medical textiles? You have heard technical textiles, right? Technical textiles are used in industries, particular fabrics. So these are not for wearing for normal apparel purpose, right? They are used specifically into a factory or industry for specific purpose. जैसे कुछ fire resistant textiles होते हैं which are used in industry. So medical textiles, any textile being used in the medical industry, like you have, so for example sanitary napkins, right, baby diapers, etc. These are textiles used in the medical industry. So to ensure that they are apt to the quality mark, these quality orders have been issued. Okay, where they are saying that they should be safe and the appropriate quality should be maintained. This much only is relevant here. Then next news is your EPFO, Employees Provident Fund Organization has launched Centralized Pension Payment System. Centralized Pension Payment System, CPPS. What is this? This is a shift from existing pension disbursal system, which is decentralized. So this is centralized. What would it do? When this is implemented, the pensioner will now be allowed to take his or her pension from any bank. EPFO ने ये centralized system issue किया है. Centralized का क्या मतलब है? From any bank you can access your pension now. Earlier the system was only select banks पर you can approach for your pension amount. Is this clear? Only at selected banks you can approach for the pension amount. But now after this centralization, any bank you can approach for the pension amount. This is the development. Remember this. And also, the pensioner will not be required to visit the bank for any verification. किसी वेरिफिकेशन के लिए आपको बैंक में नहीं जाना है, आपके अकाउंट में पेंशन अमाउंट आ जाएगा. So very easy for the pensioners. Earlier they were hustling to get the amount, right? Then Prime Minister has inaugurated Grameen Bharat Mahotsav 2025 in New Delhi. Grameen Bharat Mahotsav has been inaugurated by Prime Minister in New Delhi. Okay. What is the purpose? The purpose is to enhance rural infrastructure and create self-reliant economies, foster innovation within the rural communities, enhancing rural infrastructure, promoting innovation, employment opportunities in rural India. What is important here is, remember the theme. Theme for Grameen Mahotsav 2025 is building a resilient rural India for a Viksit Bharat 2047. This is the theme. Okay, building a resilient rural India for a Viksit Bharat 2047. Then next is India. Now this is again important. Remember, according to the data shared by Commerce and Industry Ministry, India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world with over 110 unicorn startups. We stand at the third rank in terms of unicorn startups. We have 110 unicorn startups started in India. Unicorn क्या होता है? जिसकी वैल्यूएशन $1 billion से ज्यादा हो, राइट? यूनिकॉर्न किसको कहते हैं? ऐसा startup which the valuation has crossed $1 billion of the mark, right? So India stands at third rank. Remember this rank, they can ask you this thing. And one very important fact is, out of these total startup founders, 43% of startups, they have been founded by women, right? 43% of them, they have been founded by women. 43% they have been founded by women. Remember this. Then next is Vande Bharat sleeper train. Vande Bharat sleeper train has achieved a peak speed of 180 kilometers per hour in multiple trials in last 3 days. So this is the fastest train which we have as of now in India, right? And at the global level, you see China has the fastest. Yes, recently this was asked in your IRDAI Phase 1 GA examination. So the startup wala question I'm talking about. Vande Bharat, fastest train in India which you have. Global level pe fastest train is China's fastest train, right? If you can tell me the name in the comment section. 180 km per hour ki speed. Then next you have is Union Ministry of Information Broadcasting has launched National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, which is a deemed to be university at Ropar. Okay. This new university has been launched by Ministry of Information Broadcasting, the National Institute for Electronics and Information Technology. It is a deemed to be university. Deemed to be university क्या होती है? Deemed to be university is which has got recognition from the central government that if you provide degrees, that would be recognizable for further documents and further levels, right? So degree can be provided, a lot of degrees and courses can be provided by such university. So remember, this is the new one, National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, established at Ropar. Then next is the North Central Railway. North Central Railway has introduced a new tech-savvy way for Mahakumbh attendees. So Mahakumbh is there happening, right? Northwestern Railway ने एक नया तरीका निकाला है, tech-savvy way, where the railway staff is wearing green jackets with QR code. Lot of people are traveling, you know, to go to Mahakumbh. So to make the ticket booking process more easier for them and convenient and to avoid any hassle, the staff will be wearing green jackets with QR code. You can scan the code and you can book the ticket. This is the thing. Okay, just give me a second. So this is the all right. So isn't it a good initiative? Really tech savvy, right? This was the news. Then next thing which we have is, next news is Railway Ministry will be setting up new railway division. So this can be important fact again. New railway division with headquarters at Jammu. A new dedicated division of Indian Railways would be set up with headquarters at Jammu under the Northern Railway Zone. So how many zones do we have at present? Currently 68 rail divisions under 17 rail zones which are operational, not including the proposed one, right? Operational. So 68 rail divisions are there, 17 railway zones are there, and Jammu 1 will become the 69th division. Jammu 1 will become the 69th division. Okay. This was about the national news segment. Now moving on to the state news. State news mein we only have one, that the Telangana governor has inaugurated Know Your Army Mela. Know Your Army Mela at Golconda Fort in Hyderabad. What is this? They are trying to highlight the strength and technical advancement of Indian Army, where people will be knowing about how the Indian Army is performing, what are the munitions, ammunitions associated with them. So Know Your Army Mela, remember, has been inaugurated at the historically important Golconda Fort in Hyderabad. This is the thing. International news mein we don't have anything. Talking about MOUs. IIT Madras has collaborated with Union Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare to improve the efficiency of agricultural extension system with the help of technology and innovation. What is agriculture extension system? Agriculture extension matlab all those participants like FPO, farmer producer organization, anyone who are assisting in capacity building of the farmers, assisting in providing them training, equipments, financial services, educational services, etc. So all the stakeholders who are part of the overall development goal of the farmers. This is the agriculture extension system. So they have collaborated, IIT Madras and Union Ministry of Agriculture, where they want to improve this, and the pilot project which has been there as a result of this collaboration is Vistar. Remember, what is Vistar? Virtually integrated system to access agriculture resources, where they will be developing startups, they will be promoting startups with the help of which farmers can also get information, can get latest technologies, etc., can get information, can understand the latest technologies. Startup will be promoted in agriculture sector. This is the entire thing. Okay. Next is DPIIT, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. DPIIT has collaborated with Stride Ventures. Okay. Stride Ventures. For what? For supporting high growth potential startups in their funding requirements. So Stride Ventures, it provides funding, initial funding to these startups. जो भी high growth potential के startups हैं, उनको we want to provide funding to promote these startup culture and opportunities in India. This is the thing, and particularly they are targeting the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. What are these classifications? Tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So they are classified on the basis of population. Like you have the metropolitan cities as part of tier 1, then you have lesser population in tier 2, and then you have lesser population in tier 3, right? So this is the thing. Next is Department of Promotion of Industry Internal Trade. Again, DPIIT has again signed an MOU with Startup Policy Forum. Another MOU signed by DPIIT with Startup Policy Forum. This is to again promote Indian startup ecosystem globally, to bring the Indian startup ecosystem at the global parlance. This is the thing. Now moving on to science tech and defense section. We don't have anything science tech in defense. Now we have indices and rankings. Okay. So the Commerce and Industry Ministry has released Logistics Ease Across Different States 2024 report. This can be very important. Remember this. Which edition? Remember, 6th edition is this. 6th edition, Logistics Ease. how much is it easy for any business or a startup if it establishes itself in a particular state, logistic, transportation, etc., equipments, right? Entire thing. How much logistic is easy for them as a business. This is the report. Sixth edition is there. Report title is Logistics Ease Across Different States. Leads. The short form is leads. So remember the full form as well. Logistic ease across different states. There are different categories into which states have been clubbed as achievers or best performers or underperformers, right? So coastal states, landlocked क्या होते हैं? जिनके आसपास कोई water body नहीं है, which are all surrounded by land, right? Northeastern states, then union territories. These are the groups in which they have classified the states and UTs. Let's see the top performers. फर्स्ट ग्रुप कोस्टल कैटेगरी में, कोस्टल स्टेट्स की कैटेगरी में विच आर दी टॉप अचीवर्स. रिमेंबर दी नेम्स: गुजरात, कर्नाटका, महाराष्ट्र, ओडिशा, तमिलनाडु. इन कोस्टल कैटेगरी गुजरात, कर्नाटका, महाराष्ट्र, ओडिशा एंड तमिलनाडु. फास्ट मूवर्स are Andhra Pradesh and Goa, and aspirers are Kerala and West Bengal. So you can just remember the achievers, the top performers. Landlocked में achiever is Haryana. So Haryana is an achiever in the landlocked group. Remember, Telangana, UP, Uttarakhand. Okay. Northeastern group में achievers are Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Remember, Northeastern group में achievers are Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Union territory में the achievers are Chandigarh and Delhi. Union territories में achievers are Chandigarh and Delhi. These were the categories, please remember it. And the ministry has also launched PM Gati Shakti course of Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya. So Gati Shakti University, you know, is located where? Tell me. The Gati Shakti University, which is the first transportation university of India, which gives you training in terms of transportation and logistics understanding and development. They have launched a dedicated course for it. Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, which is a for Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, 15-hour course it is there. 15-hour course. Now, they will be, under this course, they will be training officials, you know, for better transportation development and transportation related infrastructure development in the country. They will be, this is a capability enhancement kind of course. Okay. And further, this curriculum will be integrated at central training institutes, state training institutes, etc. Again, another important fact which you can remember here is that the ministry has said India's economic growth target to become a $32 trillion economy by 2047. This can be important, remember. The ministry has said that we have this target to achieve by 2047, that Indian economy should be growing, or Indian economy should become a 32 trillion US dollars economy by 2047. Okay. This was the thing. Then talking about other reports. So there is a study out by SBI Research, okay, according to which poverty has declined faster in rural areas during financial year 2024. Poverty, गरीबी जिसको हम कहते हैं, right? Poverty is declining. Now, important fact is it has declined faster in rural areas as compared to urban areas. This is quite different, right? It has declined faster in rural areas. In rural areas, the poverty ratio dipped below 5% for the first time due to higher consumption growth. You see, we have recently discussed a data by ministry that consumption expenditure, you remember that survey, household consumption expenditure survey, we have witnessed this thing, 9% growth thi rural areas mein, 8% or 7% if I am correct, was in urban areas. Yes or no? So more consumption demand is coming from the rural area. That means demand is driver of economic growth, right? When you are demanding more, there will be employment opportunities because people will be producing that good for you. तभी तो उनको better return मिलेगा. Prices will be higher. So it will be incentivizing for the producers to produce it. That boosts economic activity. That's why I always say demand is the driver of economic growth. So that's why you see rural poverty has declined faster than the urban one. This is the news, and poverty ratio is below 5%. Okay, so it is at 4.86% in this financial year. Poverty ratio in urban areas, if you see, has fell to 4.09%. Okay, 4.09%. Although it is low, but then decline has been faster in rural areas. Okay. Also, the SBI report estimates that the new poverty line for financial year 2025 is 1,632 rupees per month for rural areas and 1,944 rupees for urban areas. That means, what is poverty line? Poverty line is basically a criteria जिसके basis पे we judge whether you are poor or not. So if someone is equal to or below that amount set as poverty line, it comes in the BPL category, below poverty line. And if you are above that, you are earning above that, you are spending above that, you are APL, above poverty line, right? So poverty line, latest poverty line for financial 2024 is, remember how much this can be important, please remember this. For rural areas, it is 1,632 rupees per month if you are getting, and then rupees 1,944 for urban areas. Okay, remember this. So this is 1,632 for rural areas and 1,944 for urban areas. This is how much you are getting per month. And there are various committees which decide on poverty. So latest decision was given by Tendulkar committee, right? So a lot of committees are associated with poverty line estimation in India. आपने नाम सुना होगा DT लकड़वाला committee, Tendulkar committee, right? But you need not go into them. You just remember latest what was given by the Tendulkar committee was in 2011-12. It gave, the Tendulkar committee estimated that the poverty line is rupees 816 for rural areas and 1,000 for urban areas. But now it is 1,632 per month for rural areas, and then you have 1,944 for urban areas. Remember this. Okay. Next is, according to Deals Intelligence, India's investment banking activities, they have earned $1.3 billion in estimated fees, okay, during 2024, which is 1% increase compared to 2023. $1.3 billion we have earned as a fees in the investment banking sector. So investment banking is a part of a universal banking. Universal banking क्या है? Where apart from the core banking services or core of banking functions, we also provide these additional services like investment banking, financial services, right, mutual fund advisory, etc. So in the investment banking, we have earned this much, $1.3 billion as fees. And in this, Kotak Mahindra has the top position in overall investment banking fee ranking in India. Kotak Mahindra has earned the maximum. Kotak Mahindra is at the top. Remember, Kotak Mahindra at the top. Key segments जिनसे हमने इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग की फीस से कमाया है, की सेगमेंट्स आर मर्जर्स एंड एक्विजिशंस, इक्विटी कैपिटल मार्केट, प्राइमरी बॉन्ड्स एटसेट्रा. Okay, all the facts are not important. You just can remember कि equity capital market में like share capital है ना, तो it hit a record high and raised 72.3 billion US dollars of this fees. You know, so investment banking se we are earning a lot and charging this fees, and Kotak Mahindra stands at top. Remember this thing. Nothing else you need to remember. And particularly, Axis Bank leads the ranking for India issued bonds. Okay, in the equity, in the total segment, you see Kotak Mahindra is at the top. Particularly bonds issue करके, investment banking में bonds issue करके जो fees कमाई है, Axis Bank has led that. Okay, next thing is your, according to Food and Agriculture Organization FAO, world food commodity prices have declined by 2.1% in 2024. Now, very important fact, you tell me anyone, where is FAO headquartered? So all these organizations which remain in news, you should be remembering their headquarters. Tell me FAO is headquartered at where? Quickly in the comment section. Food and Agriculture Organization. Headquarters, okay? So it tells ki global level pe commodity prices, they have declined by 2.1% as compared to the previous level, okay? So food commodity prices have declined, but they have remained considerably higher. Okay, although they have declined. Very good, Anjali. Rome, right? Rome is the correct option here. FAO is headquartered at Rome. So food prices, food commodity prices, although they have declined, but still they are higher. And food prices, they have increased. So food related commodities ka prices has declined, but food items ka price has increased as well. Like meat, dairy, food oils, in sab ka increase hua hai. This is the thing. Nothing else is relevant here. Then next is award segment. US President Joe Biden presented US's highest civilian award. Okay, Presidential Medal of Freedom. Presidential Medal of Freedom has been awarded to 19 public figures in politics. Who are the important awardees? Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and your Argentinian footballer Lionel Messi. These two names are important among the awardees, right? And remember the name Presidential Medal of Freedom, highest civilian award of the United States of America. Next, 18th edition of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention. Remember, which edition? 18th edition. Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention is scheduled to be held from 8 to 10 January at Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Okay. Where 27 persons they will be conferred. 27 persons will be conferred Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Awards by President Draupadi Murmu, which is highest honor conferred on overseas Indians. This is highest honor provided to overseas Indians, okay, those who are residing outside India, for their recognition of outstanding achievements in both in India as well as abroad, whichever country they are residing presently. So this is the thing, remember 18th edition, and to 27 persons these awards will be awarded. Then last thing which we have, books. We don't have any books in news. Festivals mein we have Bihar. In Bihar, 3-day long celebration of Prakash Utsav. Prakash Utsav to mark the 358th birth anniversary of the 10th and last Sikh Guru Gobind Singh began, okay, at Takht Shri Harminder Sahib in Patna city. So Prakash Utsav has been observed recently, right? What is Prakash Utsav? This is to mark 358th birth anniversary of the 10th Sikh Guru, Guru Gobind Singh. It has started at Patna, okay? Remember. And Shri Harminder Sahib, where it has started, is the birthplace of the founder of Khalsa Panth, Guru Gobind Singh. Okay. Then the sports news. So in sports, we have IHF Trophy Men's Youth and Junior Handball Championship. In this, the location was KD Singh Stadium, Lucknow, UP. It was organized, right? It has started on 3rd January itself. So this handball championship is in news. Whatever achievements they come will be discussed further on. Remember the location Lucknow mein being held. Kho-Kho World Cup 2025. Kho-Kho World Cup mein the trophies and mascots for the inaugural Kho-Kho World Cup were unveiled. Okay. Location New Delhi. 13th to 19th January they will be held. Very important this segment is. Remember, total 21 men's team and 20 women's team would be participating. Men's championship trophy would be blue. Women's trophy is green. Mascots, if you see, gazelles named Tejas and Tara. They embody speed, agility and teamwork. So these are the mascots. Tejas and Tara. Remember these two names. Tejas and Tara. Tejas and Tara. Okay. Tejas and Tara are the mascots. Tejas and Tara are what? They are symbol of strength and agility. So remember Kho-Kho World Cup 2025 के two mascots we have Tejas and Tara. This is very important fact. Okay, scheduled to be held in New Delhi. 21 men's team, 20 women's team would be participation. Women की trophy का color क्या है? Remember it is green. Pink नहीं है. Okay, it is green. Green, remembering representing growth and vitality. Men's की trophy का color would be blue. Determination, trust, it would be resembling. Then we have BCCI Women's Under 19 tournament organized by Maharashtra Cricket Association. It has started from 4th January. This is not so important. Kho-Kho World Cup is very important. Remember Tejas and Tara, the mascots of Kho-Kho World Cup. Okay. Then appointments may we have Amit Ganorkar, appointed as MD and CEO of Tata AIG General Insurance Company. Then Dr. Hari Babu, 27th Governor of Odisha. Then we have Suhash Subramanian, who is an Indo-American, appointed as 119th member of the US Congress. US Congress is like we have Parliament in India, they have Congress, right? Conferences में we don't have committee, we don't have obituaries में we have Rajgopala Chidambaram, okay, famous as Indian scientist, so also awarded with Padma Shri and Padma Vibhushan, remember. And Rajgopala Chidambaram has been longest serving principal scientific advisor to Indian government. So very important personality, remember this name. Longest serving principal scientific advisory to Indian government, also former chairman of Atomic Energy Commission, and also part of the Operation Smiling Buddha 1974. Now you would be telling me what is Operation Smiling Buddha associated with? Okay, tell me, Smiling Buddha is associated with what? Then we have Tomiko Ituka, a Japanese woman who was the world's oldest person, according to Guinness World Record, has died at 116 years. You know, world's oldest women, 116 की age में. I will be waiting for your answer. Tell me, Operation Smiling Buddha is associated with what? Last, we have important days में one day, which is World Braille Day. World Braille Day is observed on 4th January. 4th January, okay, to recognize the contribution of Braille in the development and education of the visually challenged, right? So this was it for 3rd January CA. Last, we have the top 5 MCQs. Top 5 MCQs, the short series. You would be quickly answering me all these questions. Question number 1. According to the Commerce and Industry Ministry, India stands at which rank, in a startup ecosystem with over 110 unicorn startups which we have? What is India's rank in a startup ecosystem? Quickly, tell me. India's rank in startup ecosystem. Third rank. Okay. Third rank. Very good. Third rank it is there. Option B is the correct option. India has third rank in global startup ecosystem. Next question. Union government has released draft digital personal data protection rules, which we have seen. So these are certain statements about that. Read them carefully and tell me which one is incorrect. Okay. Read these statements carefully and tell me which one is incorrect. Regarding the draft data protection rules, we have discussed them in detail. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Tell me. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Quickly. Anyone? Okay, you are saying B. Why B is incorrect? So in case of data breach within 72 hours, this is not 62, right? Within 72 hours, you have to report to Data Protection Board of India, which will be established, right? 72 hours it is, not 62. So all these statements are correct. B is incorrect. Next question. Read the following statements regarding securitization and select the incorrect one. सिक्योरिटाइजेशन की न्यूज जो हमने पढ़ी थी उसके बारे में दीज आर दी स्टेटमेंट. टेल मी विच वन इज द इनकरेक्ट वन. क्विकली, विच वन इज द इनकरेक्ट वन? Question number 3. Very good. C is the option. More has been securitized by banks as compared to NBFCs? No. More securitization has been there on the part of NBFCs. है ना? So you remember 25,000 from banks and 43,000 from NBFCs. So this one is the incorrect one. Very good. Next question, question number 4. Commerce and Industry Ministry has released Logistics Ease Index across different states. Okay, 2024. According to it, in the coastal group category, the first group, which of the following state is not an achiever in the coastal group category? Which of these state is not an achiever? Acha, ye you can answer with, on the basis of common sense as well, right? Of course, Haryana. Even if you don't know, the coastal category mein, you can guesswork, you can do the guesswork here. Haryana is not a coastal state, right? Haryana is not there, all other are. So Haryana is an achiever in which category? In landlocked, isn't it? Right? Haryana is also an achiever, but in the landlocked category. Okay? Next question. Last question of the short series. Prime Minister has inaugurated the Grameen Bharat Mahotsav 2025 in New Delhi for rural development and infrastructure development. Right? Tell me what is the theme of this Grameen Mahotsav 2025? What is the theme of Grameen Mahotsav 2025? What is the theme of Grameen Mahotsav 2025? Very good, very good. A is the right option. Building a resilient rural India for a Viksit Bharat by 2047. 2047. So these were the questions which we had for short series. Lot of important and technical news we have discussed. Lot of important concepts of finance I have discussed with you. I hope you have been able to understand them, and please revise this. This was a really important document, and that was it for today's session. I hope the class was useful. Thank you so much for staying tuned and focused. I must appreciate that you were, there present in the class, because you have been answering me the questions very quickly. Okay. What all activities while calculating trade GVA? See, trade GVA में क्या होगा कि ट्रेड में जितनी भी इंडस्ट्रीज पार्टिसिपेट कर रही हैं, ट्रेड में whatever industries, firm, establishments are participating, है ना, they are producing or they are exporting something, their contribution would be taken up. Understood, Srijan? Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next session with more enthusiasm in the class. Stay tuned, keep on revising. Have a great day.